Kenya party leader Martha Karua has urged Kenyans to reject the National Dialogue Committee report on grounds that it failed to address the most pressing issue of cost of living. She claimed the report has served Kenyans with a contempt card as it fell short of addressing the issue of the cost of living, which was the top agenda when Azimio called off the protests to give room for the Bomas of Kenya talks.
I actually gave my apologies that morning we spoke, but I had also indicated that we are together on all fours so long as we stick to the 3 deal breakers. So to Azimio, we had already agreed that 3 issues were deal breakers. That's the position now Kenya still holds. And when I hear my esteemed leader, whom I respect, talking to the public, we are not very far from each other. Yeah.
This comes when Azimio leader Raila Odinga endorses the National Dialogue Committee report, terming it as imperfect and unfinished, but a good start. In a statement on November 29, Odinga regarded the report to be incomplete, since it did not address the most pertinent issues such as the cost of living.
The document the team has come up with is ultimately imperfect and unfinished, but it is a good beginning. We have agreed to disagree on the most important matter to us. We made what we believed were reasonable proposals on how to address the rising cost of living.
Karua also added that it is insensitive for Kenya Kwanza government to consistently hike the cost of living without being mindful of the majority of citizens who are wallowing in the middle of biting poverty and misery. The Iron Lady said, the Finance Act 2023 enacted after public participation indicated that an overwhelming majority of Kenyans were opposed to it, particularly to the doubling of the fuel tax whose ripple effect is a pernicious rise in the cost of living.
Yes.
Inakuja.
Yes.
Yeah, the last one? Yeah. Yeah. The reports, Azimio reports on cost of living are well captured. And even in the statement today, we are saying the starting point would be reduce the fuel tax to where it was, 8. That would have a ripple effect. Scrap the housing tax, which is but a slash fund. Even before we go to food subsidies. This country, this is not the first time Kenyans have been faced with hardship, although it is the worst, because we have an uncaring regime. We have had occasions when government has had to subsidize foodstuffs to enable Kenyans to go on. This government is not only tone deaf to the cries of Kenyans, it is taxing. I think the stage we have reached, because these are punitive taxes. Maybe in January they are preparing to tax the air we breathe.
Yes, yes.
So this is completely ridiculous. Yeah. So we do have strategies, and that is why Kenyans, I believe, had given an opportunity to those who know how to run a country to run it. Why don't we audit?
The rising cost of electricity and fuel, she said, has increased the cost of production, pushing the cost of essential goods out of reach of many Kenyans as more employees continue to lose jobs as their employers strive to remain in business. The Azimio co-principal accused President William Ruto of failing to implement austerity measures to curb the wastage of public resources and not deterring corruption in his government.
Kenyans must be on the lookout. We know Ruto and the Kenya Kwanza regime are cunning, more cunning than a fox, I dare say. We must be on the lookout, otherwise they may carry out backdoor amendments of the Constitution through Parliament. While concluding on the Nadco report, we want to say it has nothing to alleviate the suffering of citizens, but it offers goodies to the leadership. This is totally unacceptable. It is a fraud upon Kenyans. It should be frowned upon and totally rejected. That is the verdict of NAK Kenya. It is a distracting national smoke screen.
While speaking in Rongo during a fund drive, Majority Leader in the National Assembly Komani Ichang'wah said the move marks a significant start for the country's political dialogue and peacekeeping efforts. Ichang'wah stated that different philosophies ought to cooperate to achieve the common good.
And I must congratulate former Prime Minister Raila Odinga because he told us it is a good start. And I want to tell Baba Amolo Raila Odinga, every good journey starts with a good start. And that is exactly what we said in our statement on Saturday as we launched the report and as we submitted the report to him and to the President. That this is just but a start or the beginning of a continuous dialogue to set a new trajectory for our political engagements. That never again in the politics of our country shall we use violence as a means of transacting our business in politics. We shall get into elections. We have credible, verifiable, and accurate results and transparent ones. And the winner shall be announced and be congratulated by the one who lost. And the one who loses waits to fight another day. Sindio? And we say the most important thing for us, we had very deep entrenched positions. The Azimio side came to us with very deep and entrenched positions. You remember, we also came into that dialogue process with entrenched positions. Let us drop our entrenched positions. Let us have a good start. And that is what I see even the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, appreciates, that we have a good start. Na kila safari nzuri zinaanza na one step.